A trade storm has just hit India's export economy. The Trump administration's decision to impose a steep 50% tariff on Indian goods marks one of the toughest trade sanctions against India in recent years. This move is expected to send shockwaves across multiple sectors, particularly garment exporters, shoe manufacturers, and allied industries. India has long been a key supplier of low-cost, high-quality apparel, footwear, leather goods, and textiles to the United States. In fact, the US accounts for more than a quarter of India's total garment and footwear exports. With a 50% tariff, Indian products will suddenly become far more expensive compared to those from competitors such as Vietnam, Bangladesh, and Mexico, all of whom enjoy either lower tariffs or preferential trade agreements with Washington. For garment manufacturers, the impact is immediate and severe. Margins in this industry are razor thin, and most exporters cannot absorb such a massive tariff hike. But the buyers in the US, from retail giants to boutique chains, will likely shift their sourcing to cheaper alternatives. This threatens not only export revenues but also jobs. India's textiles and garment sector employs over 45 million people, many of them women. Shoe manufacturers face a similar crisis. India is the world's second largest footwear producer, but much of its export growth rallies on competitive pricing. A 50% tariff wipes away that advantage overnight. American importers who buy Indian leather shoes or sandals will reconsider their orders, forcing Indian factories to cut production. Small and medium-sized enterprises, which form the backbone of India's footwear clusters in Agra, Kanpur, and Tamil Nadu, are particularly vulnerable. The broader ripple effects are also significant. India's leather industry, yarn producers, and accessory suppliers will see demand slump. Logistics firms, shipping companies, and port operations tied to US-bound exports will be hit as well. On the macroeconomic level, India risks losing billions in export earnings, deepening its current accounts challenges. Politically, the tariff escalation signals a strain in India-US trade ties. While Washington frames this as protecting American workers, New Delhi views it as protectionism that undermines global supply chains. Retaliation cannot be ruled out, and Indian exporters may press the government for relief packages or new incentives to stay afloat. In the long term, manufacturers will have to diversify markets, pivoting towards Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. They may also invest in higher value, differentiated products to avoid competing solely on cost. But in the short term, this tariff shock is nothing less than a body blow to India's export economy, threatening livelihoods, competitiveness, and hard-won market share in the world's largest consumer economy.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.